Allison Engine Exhibit draws a large, attentive audience to hear of this amazing airplane engine, which points the way to the future of aviation. Here is the Birth of Industries exhibit. We see the humble beginnings from which have sprung our great industries. Those organizations which provide Americans with over 12 million jobs, which make America the envy of the world in industrial production. The rubber industry, and steel, and automobiles, and petroleum. The rapidly expanding aviation industry. And electricity, too. Now let us observe one of the actual demonstrations showing science at work. An attempt is made to shatter a glass with nothing but sound waves. Sound waves which are moving up and out of the tube. With the glass placed between the ends of the tube, the young man proceeds to tune in on the natural frequency of the glass. And that glass, ladies and gentlemen, was shattered by nothing but sound waves. Research and science, of course, are also to be considered from the woman's point of view.
This familiar insignia and the phrase "body by Fisher" were unknown, but everybody knew a gorgeous, stylish Gibson girl, or wished he did. In my merry Oldsmobile. You remember that hit song? Well, this was the buggy. No top, no windshield. What's merry about it? 1910, and there's the hobble skirt that did the bunny hug. Don't ask me how. While Ziegfeld stages his first follies, came closed car bodies. Crazy, said the world of 1910. The 1920s brought shorter skirts and bobbed hair and the famous Fisher body girl herself, while streamlining became the order of the day. If you don't believe it, look at the shapely chassis. 1941 has everything. Freedom, poise, perfect balance, lustrous loveliness, and still body by Fisher. The car, not the girl, of course. And what about the future? No one can predict for sure. But one thing is certain. Progress will go on. The best proof of that statement is not the imaginary highway of 1960 pictured here, but the record of the past.
The March of Motors. An American crossroads, the year 1900. Axiomatic it is that lines intersect at a point, and prime point of America is a dot on the map. For in the U.S., where roads meet, there are dots and there life begins. But at the century's turn, unchanged for generations, untouched by time, America's crossroads slept, awaiting the cockcrow of a strange new dawn. In the 90s, or naughty nuts, one day was like another, alike as two peas in a pod. For man and beast, life still turned in its same small radius. Man's needs fixed his horizons from birth to death. Life's circuit was in a nutshell. To Cracker Barrel society, strange indeed was a weird contraption destined to shake every crossroads from its age-old sleep, remake it from top to bottom, turn it literally upside down, and confound its critics. The horseless carriage. The same American crossroads, the year 1920s. In the pace of time's inexorable march, Rip Van Winkle's 20 years' sleep was a fleeting moment. But to U.S. life at the crossroads, 2 decades compassed a century of undreamed-of change. Undreamed of was garage, free air, flats fixed. New words these, new desires. For men having invented the wheel, speeded it overnight, faster and faster, turned it to his needs. And as his needs broadened, so did his horizons. and mushrooming overnight were new structures to satisfy man's new wants, to bridge his desires. Undreamed of was a bank, but man's new business requires credit and finance, and man's new leisure requires a playhouse. And in the steps of one-time harvest hands tread quick lunches. City and country are next-door neighbors, until a one-time crossroads finds itself a suburb with new homes, new living, and new pleasures. America's crossroads today. Still, our crossroads grows apace with its new four-lane highway and super service station. Such is progress. The sturdy gives way to the sturdier. Man builds, tears down, and builds again. Civilization comes to our crossroads and hardly pauses before a newer crossroads appears. 20 years ago, meaningless would have been a bus depot. Today, it is the center of ever-increasing, bustling activity, bringing new residents, new business, new pupils to grow into tomorrow's citizens. So up another notch in the postal scale moves America's crossroads. Up sprouts a new school, a far cry from the little red schoolhouse of the 90s. Still Community Center is America's crossroads. Life began at the intersection of two lines, and now the highway is a continuous main street. Still a backbone, still a dot on the U.S. map, it has carried out its promise of 1900. There, at the century's turn, needing only the automobile to transform it, still there today is the seed of growth of an even greater American crossroads of tomorrow. Time marches on.
If the Parade of Progress inspires one boy to dream of helping build a future and a greater America, then much has been accomplished. For there will always be a frontier where there are open minds and willing hands.